Okay, if you bought the Nexsys Motorsport's B58 Coil Kit for the N54 engine and you want to know how to install it, here we go, kids. This is how we do it. If you bought the Nexsys Motorsport kit for the stock valve cover, it comes with these extensions that go on the B58 coil. So what you have to do is you have to remove this boot and put this boot in its place. It's pretty simple. You just slide this off, but be careful, there's a little spring in here that you might lose or drop or might keep attached to the top piece when you install this boot on. See, there's a spring in this one too. Here's the spring I'm talking about. It's just press fit in there, it can be very loose. All you have to do is just twist this thing off, then put the new one on. Okay, once you've installed all the boot extenders, you're ready to go install the plate, the adapters, and then plug these in. One thing you will notice is that these coils have the spring type on the end and not the clip type, as with the stock coils for the N54. Okay, so we have our connectors, our coil, our aluminum plate. It also came with some plate bolts. This aluminum plate is going to replace this plastic one here. And those holes here and here go to the stock connecting holes here and here. And these two are 12mm socket head. So you're going to remove this, you're going to put this in its place, and you're going to retuck all these wires underneath this plate. This is where the coils are going to fit in these slots, and then the slots next to the larger ones are where your wires are going to come up in for these adapters. Okay, the bottom plastic piece with holds the wiring harness has been removed, and let me tell you, that thing was a mother effer to get out, all because of these little clips. Right there, right there. And there's a big one right here which fits into this. And all of these wires down here fit inside of that plastic. These sit on top and sit in these clips right here. They just kind of ride in there. All of these fit on the inside, so you have to unbolt it and then crack all these little clips open to get the thing apart. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna wrap all of these wires with zip ties and electrical tape and give them a little bit of buffer between the valve cover in here before I put this plate on. Just give them a little bit of heat insulation and just gonna get them so they're not actually just resting right on top of this this valve cover. All right, this thing is a little tougher than I thought. After removing the plastic piece and kind of insulating these wires some more, I realized that there's just no room for the wiring harness that feeds the coils to fit anywhere underneath here. And since I didn't have any instructions to go along with this, what I did was I completely took the wiring harness out, cut some of this back and that little boot that sits on the end. Let's see if I have that here. Well, it looks like this right here. This little boot. Cut that off so then you can kind of see it right here. So then I can snake these wires and fit them down in the trough between the fuel rails, the injectors, and the coils. So it worked out pretty good. Everything tucks in there nicely. What I suggest doing is removing some of your grounds here, and the third one over here. Remove those, get you a little more room, and I actually had to remove a couple of these connectors that go to the fuel injectors. Be very careful with those. Those clips will snap really easy. There's a little clip on this side. If you shove a small screwdriver down there just a little bit, just pry a little bit, and it'll pull right out. Don't pry too hard because you'll break it. But if you do break it, it's a pretty secure fit because there's a little rubber O-ring on there, so I think you'll be fine if you do break it. I got all the coils except for number 6 in because it's being a bit of a bear back here. But that's what I had to do to get this thing to fit. Everything bolts down nicely. I like the look of it, it's clean. I'm gonna modify my engine cover to kind of show this. I think I'm going to cut this section out to kind of, you can see the coils and stuff on the plate, because I think it's a really good clean look. But this is quite the job. I mean, I've probably been working at this for about 2 hours total, just get everything out. And mind you, I've been working with absolutely no instructions. I've been kind of shooting from the hip, so this is pretty much how I would do it. I don't know if y'all got instructions or if you would do it some way else. Let me know. I'd love to see your work. Post up some pics or some videos and let me know how it goes. Okay folks, took the car out yesterday for a test run. Worked flawlessly. No misfires, no issues, no codes, nothing. I mean, these things are the real deal. I'm very happy with it so far. I just have to get my tune dialed in, perform some logs, and then I'll be set. So in conclusion, this was a bit challenging to get this whole piece on. You have to relocate some things. So kind of in review, step one is you swap out the boots on these coils. Step two is you take off that plastic wiring harness cover that sits across here, crack it open. Step three is kind of relocating your wiring harness for your coils and your fuel injectors. This other harness can sit down here if you want, or if you feel like it, you can either put that in the trough as well or find another place to relocate it. Then after that, just basically bolt down the plate, and then finally put your coils in and tighten them down. Remember, don't over tighten any of these. Just if they're snug, they're good. I don't think there's any really torque specs for these. Just make sure you don't pinch any of the wires under this plate or any of your connectors. Just make sure everything's nice and clean, still loose. You can move it around. You should be good. And if you feel like adding a little more support for heat, you can always wrap these wires with some more electrical tape or some heat resistant tape, and I think I might do that. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna modify my engine cover to kind of show this plate because I think it's gonna look really good, so that'll be my final step. But that's pretty much it for the install. Took me probably, with all the work I had to do, about 2 hours, because I ran into some problems getting this plastic plate off and then figuring out kind of what to do because I was shooting from the hip and rerouting the wiring harnesses. So I hope this helps people, and if I did something completely wrong, let me know, because I was basically, like I said, shooting from the hip. I didn't have an install instructions or anything. So hope this helps everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.